Hello, good morning, everyone. So today we are going to discuss about our biggest enemy, that is stress, right? And we have seen, whether it is work-related stress, whether it is financial stress, whether it is your family stress, your spouse giving you stress, your children giving you stress, or your friends or neighbor, your boss, or whatever it is, right? It has an bearing on your overall health, right? I'm going to talk about this because this is specifically important right now after COVID and a lot of work pressure, right? Uh, Assuming considering the current way of lifestyle of working, right? So what happens, when you're under stress, there's an overactivation of what we call as fight and flight response. So, I'll explain it both in layman language and a bit of, scientific language as well. So when you have an overactive fight and flight response, it means that you're about to getting attacked, right? So consider this: you are going in a jungle in a forest, and you are being attacked by an animal, right? And that's you're not worried about what you're eating, you're just worried about saving your life, and that's how you run, and that's what happens inside the body, right? So essentially, when you have an overactive fight and flight response, your body shuts down all non-essential systems like digestive system, you will have nutrient deficiency, you will start having bloating, constipation issues, you know, your body will start storing energy, assuming that, future will not get energy because of the attack you're supposed to get, you are getting, right? So you start gaining weight. It creates a situation of insulin resistance. Your blood pressure increases, your blood sugar level increases. You start having anxiety and depression, right? It also impacts your immune health, so you will also have a risk of developing, autoimmune issues and leaky gut and a lot of these things, right? So, uh, so the way to look at it is, and that's why our ancestors and grandfathers, great grandfathers always told us to, pay some gratitude before we start eating food, right? So it was very, very scientific, right? So when we do a gratitude, we're actually calming down our, you know, uh, fight and fight response, our immune system, everything. Similarly, when we are doing yoga, we're telling our body everything is fine. There's no need to worry. And that's how things stabilizes, right? But let us get down into basics of uh, the scientific mechanism behind the connection between stress and various chronic diseases, right? So essentially, fight and flight response I discussed, right? It is one of the hormones which are again modulated by your gut microbiome, right? Which impacts your fight and flight response. So to some extent, we need a fight and flight response when we are in some sort of dangerous situation, or we are facing something extraordinary, for instance, if you are climbing a mountain, you really need a fight and flight response. But if it's an overactive fight and flight response because you're always your your immune system, everything is on alert position, so it triggers a lot of health issues which I have discussed. So high blood pressure, sugar level, anxiety, depression, a lot of these things. Right? So we need to have a balanced fight and flight response. Second thing is neuroendocrine system, which is hypothalamic pituitary adrenal gland, HPA axis, right? And this is one of the axes. These three glands actually communicate with each other, which triggers the release of cortisol. Again, cortisol is an is produced in response to our stress, right? So this interaction between these three glands, hypothalamus, pituitary, and adrenal gland actually impacts our immune system health, our blood-brain barrier situation, system permeability, sensory automatic nervous system, a lot of these things, right? So cortisol actually induces leads to gut dysbiosis. Again, it tells something is bad and closes all the non-essential systems. So something bad is going to get attacked, right? So and that's how it leads to gut dysbiosis. That's why people who have stress have digestive issues, right? Uh, so this gut dysbiosis or imbalance in the microbiome, which means that gut upon more of non suboptimal functions, right? It can drive up activity of certain bacteria, group of bacteria, bacteria, which are which are required to regulate your estrogen. So, it leads to high activity of estrogen, which leads to high production of estrogen, right? Which is again one of the reasons connected with, reproductive health issues in female, right? So here I'm talking about female, right? So essentially, uh, estrogen signals liver that, to produce a lot of, thyroid inhibitor protein, and then you have, you may have low thyroid levels. So, so stress, gut dysbiosis, high estrogen levels, and then, low thyroid levels. So stress impacts your hormone production, right? Uh, so the hormone production, it upregulates your estrogen, downregulates your thyroid, right? And these things would never come up in your blood works, in your labs, right? In your lab tests. So essentially, if you have a low thyroid, probably you go on a thyroid medication. It is not going to help, because again, it is just going to suppress your thyroid, right? Your just suppress your those symptoms of, having underactive thyroid. So essentially, stress is one of the reasons. So again, modulating stress, through various yoga and, postures, and yoga postures, and, and paying gratitude, bit of exercise, all these things do help, right? Uh, so I'll also share, how it's the other way around. How gut dysbiosis also leads to, uh, these cortisol release. So again, so stress or cortisol also disrupts your prolactin production, which can impact your skin, hair issues, and may impact your reproductive health, even lead to infertility issues. And that's why, a lot of people who have high stress fail to conceive, right? That's one of the reasons, right? Not the only reason. Okay. And again, I have shared about cortisol. Again, cortisol makes you store food, it creates a situation of insulin resistance. So you will have elevated blood sugar level, it increases the risk of type 2 diabetes. Right? Again, gut microbiome connection, right? So again, when we are eating wrong things, we are not feeding our body with the right sort of, chemicals and bioactive molecules which are found in various foods, right? It leads to imbalance in our gut, and, a lot of these metabolites, harmful metabolites or endotoxins or neurotoxins released by our microbiome actually passes through blood-brain barrier and goes to, and this, you know, uh, overactivates HPA axis, right? And again, HPA axis, we have discussed this, in a previous slide, right? So it leads to production of cortisol, right? And again, cortisol again does the same thing. It creates an urgency. It stops all the non-essential system. You should start having digestive issue. You start having, you start gaining weight. You start becoming obese. You will have, insulin resistance. You will increase the risk of type 2 diabetes. You have autoimmune issues, right? A lot of these things, right? And that's why, stress and digestive issues are connected. Another thing which is really, really important is, right, again, certain microbes which can convert, cortisol into gut testosterone, which increases the risk of, prostate cancer, right? So essentially, here the role of microbiome comes into play, right? So all these things, are really important. Really important. So interaction between stress and the microbiome impact your metabolic health, hormonal health, reproductive health, digestive health, autoimmune health, even can create cancer situations, right? So you have to do three things really, really important. Understand what food you should eat, right? What food you should feed your microbiome. So do not fall for fat diets, high protein, low carbs. All these are just waste of time and money, and, playing with your health, right? Just understand your unique biology, what food molecules your body needs right now, right? To regulate to improve your serotonin production, which can reduce your stress, to improve your GABA production, right? Um, to actually overcome digestive issues, regulate hormonal balances, right? Um, Modulate your cortisol production, fight and flight response, a lot of these things. Second thing is, do 30 to 45 minutes of exercise daily. You don't need to, pick heavy weights. Do normal weight training, do brisk walking, jogging, whatever you want to do. Do yoga. Right? It actually helps calm down your fight and flight response or cortisol responses, right? Or stress responses. Uh, Take gratitude before you eat food. It will really calm down your body and calm down your responses, right? Have good deep sleep, mindful sleep for 8 hours, like at least, right? Uh, Stay away from after you come back from office, stay away from your mobile. Do not get yourself exposed to blue light. And spend time with your children and family. Give them time, enjoy the time. So these are few things I wanted to discuss, right? So again, consider see stress from how stress impacts multiple biological functions of the body. That's it for today. Have a great day. Thank you.